I think that the issue, unfortunately, is not conveniently understood. And you just have to look at Nepal to understand what is the difference. Of course, there are insatisfaction, people that for various reasons want to protest. But what we have seen in Bangladesh is someone that grabbed the power not to ensure any reform, not to ensure any democracy, but quite on the contrary. He needed 18 months to turn democratic elections impossible, because it is absolutely impossible to hold free and fair elections in a country where the most important party is persecuted the way it is. There is an estimation of 15 million internally displaced people that are just running away for not being murdered, for not being imprisoned, for not being falsely accused of whatever, because there are 50,000 fake accusations made on journalists, on professors, on politicians, most of them absolutely absurd, anonymous, or made by people that have nothing to do with whatever. The situation, in my opinion, is the most serious all over the world. Of course, you have violence in many places, you do, but in such a scale, in a country that has 200 million people and geared at destroying the acts of foundation of the country, because the people in charge, namely the Jamaat-e-Islami, are very clear. They want to destroy 71. They want to destroy the independent Bangladesh. That's their aim, and that's what is at stake.
There are a lot of incidents, where the minorities in Bangladesh are being targeted. Their churches are being burned, temples are being burned, people are being killed. So do you believe that Bangladesh is now in the hands of the Islamic radicals?
Absolutely. It was hijacked. Whatever people thought it was an idea to change government, it was hijacked by hardcore fanatic Islamists that want to destroy the country. And they start by the minorities, but they don't stop with the minorities. They go ahead with the bulk of the population. They are a threat to all the population in Bangladesh.
So do you believe that there will be return of democracy in Bangladesh, because Army League is being banned?
It's absolutely impossible to have free and fair elections in the present situation. Absolutely. And whoever pretends the contrary is just trying to fool the public opinion in the world.
Human rights violation in Bangladesh at its highest level in last 54 years. All sort of population, it's not only the minorities, they are tortured, no doubt about that. Even the Ahmadiyya people are getting tortured. Hindu, Muslim, Christian, nobody is spared over the last 14 months. As you know that more than 2,500 cases has been documented of torture. About more than 30 people has been killed, minorities. And as one of the report from Global Center for Democratic Governance, they said that at least 637 people were killed by mob lynching. So this is the scenario. Hundreds and thousands of houses have been set, burned, looted, vandalized. At the moment, they are trying to do a fraud election comprises of few parties and banning other popular parties. So Bangladesh needs to get back democracy, rule of law and justice. That's what we are fighting for.
So what support are you seeking, from the international community, and do you believe that the world is ready to listen to Bangladesh views?
I don't believe that the world is ready to listen to Bangladesh, because one of the report came from the Human Rights Commission on February 12th. That is the report. They mentioned that was not maintained their editorial policy as a UN standard. If they cannot maintain their standard, why they publish this report? And it was a biased report. We are going to rebuttal it, and we want to show them that they have mentioned the reports is not correct.
We listened to one of the recent interviews of Yunus, where he says, that there are no attacks on minorities and the world media is showing the fake news.
He is a sweet talker. He will say something in the Western world, he will say something opposite in Bangladesh. Whatever he see in the morning, he cannot remember. He forget in the evening and says something different. So do not trust him.
Do you believe that minorities in Bangladesh are safe now?
If the 2,500 attacks happen over the 12 months, how are they safe? They are not. If not only the minorities, the people they created, the interim government created an environment of fear. Everybody is scared to speak up. That's the problem at the moment.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people in Bangladesh are quite fearful. I think if Mohammed Yunus had came in, made some small reforms, but then moved towards the election, I think people would have been a lot more content. However, I think what they've seen is there's Yunus and the students have wanted to vandalise Bangladesh's foundations, and it has caused atomization in society, and people are anxious about it. But then you've got, on the other hand, there's these other radicals out there, the radical Islamists from Jamaat-e-Islami. I mean, like just the other day, their deputy said he wanted to have a war with India, and creating a massive cadre of more jihadis to have a war. Like, this is just crazy talk. These guys could literally be creating the next government in Bangladesh, and I think people who are in the centre, even people who don't even like the Awami League, are quite fearful, and I think it's an absolute shame for Bangladesh.
Do you expect more unrest in South Asia because of the situation in Bangladesh?
Well, I think when you just have to open a newspaper, you've got violence in Pakistan-administered Kashmir. You've got this in Bangladesh, where the base is in. I mean, the thing is that last year there was talk of Bangladesh perhaps having a defence pact like Saudi Arabia, where they would share nuclear weapons. I mean, this is just absolutely crazy talk in the region. I hope one day it just settles down and people get back to sort of reality again, because it's crazy politics.
How do the Western world see the situation in Bangladesh, and do you believe that it's time for them to act to bring democracy in the country?
I think the international community need to wise up a little bit more on Mohammed Yunus. He's promised one thing, but then he hasn't delivered. And I think the recent sort of remarks by the Home Minister, when there was this massive tragedy near Chittagong, and it appalled society. Yet these guys are saying, "Oh, this is a foreign conspiracy," and all these kinds of things. And it's bad for Bangladesh. I think the international community need to sort of lend a hand to the moderates and people who just want a good economy in a society where the politicians don't go to the streets and they don't want to kill each other. And I think that's what Bangladesh needs.
Of course, I mean, obviously, Bangladesh was saved by Bangladesh Awami League in 1971. In 1952, we actually lead the country for our protest against Pakistani Janta, because while that time they said we cannot speak in Bengali, we have to speak in Urdu, and the national language will be Urdu. That time, Bangladesh Awami League led the country. In 1971, Bangladesh Awami League again led the country and saved the country. And yes, of course, this is a very tough route. You understand that Western power has captured, actually indirectly, and this is a proxy war against India. I always say this: what happening in Bangladesh is a proxy war against India. The target is India, and the battlefield is in Bangladesh. So obviously, I mean, you know the situation and what you have heard so far. Look, just a week ago, a dead body was exhumed from the grave and was beaten, the dead body, and burnt. So the situation was that worse, that a dead body had to take from the grave and had to burn. And whatever reason, whatever cause we're showing is actually, you cannot compare with anything. So the question was democracy. I would say, obviously, we are preparing ourselves. Many power. I won't say anyone's name, any country's name, but many powers in the world with us. They know that Bangladesh is being an Islamic extremist country. State-sponsored terrorism is being sponsored in Bangladesh, and Bangladesh cannot be a battlefield for the proxy war against India. Simple as that. And not even India, even against China or any other country. Bangladesh was always a very peaceful country, peace lover country, and Bangladesh Awami League will save the democracy and bring the democracy again, and will kick out Yunus from wherever he is now.
You said, that Bangladesh got liberated from Pakistan.
Yeah.
You fought against Pakistan policies, the Urdu-speaking people.
Yeah.
But now the pictures are coming different. Yunus is meeting the Pakistani generals, and so.
Well, we said after the 1971 war, we said after the, 1975, when the father of the nation were killed, we said that war were not finished. It was an unfinished revolution, 1971. So this time we have got another chance to finish it completely. So obviously that time there were lots of people who fought for Pakistan, and they were not properly punished, that they were not properly tried in the court. So in Germany, there was a saying after the Second World War that late but not too late. This is the reason 100-year men were tried in the court for joining Hitler. So I'm saying the same thing. It's late but not too late to gain the independence, because I still think that Pakistani people are in our country, were in disguise, obviously, and they were celebrating Jinnah's death anniversary in Bangladesh right after the 5th of August 2024. So it was always in their mind, it was always in their memories of Pakistan. So we will demolish the memories of Pakistan forever. We will demolish, and I won't say the genocide of people, I would say genocide of memory. We will demolish these memories. If you say this is a genocide, that would be genocide of the memory, not the human being. So obviously Bangladesh Awami League is the answer for Bangladesh.